The city of Ethelberg was buzzing. Journalists, citizens, and officials crowded the courthouse, their whispers thick with anticipation. At the center of the storm was the trial of Sergeant Orion, a decorated veteran accused of a crime few believed he had committed. Then the doors opened. A woman entered, silent, poised, commanding attention without effort. Her name was Alara. She walked with calm authority, her steps echoing like a quiet drumbeat across the marble floor. The newly promoted court bailiff froze, sensing something unusual. Her presence unsettled him. She didn't belong here, at least not in his mind. He stepped forward and demanded identification. Alara calmly handed over her ID, stating she was there to support Orion, her former comrade from Special Operations. But her tone, confident and unyielding, only deepened the officer's suspicion. Orders echoed in his head. No disorder. Remove anyone questionable. When she moved toward the defense bench, he blocked her path. Leave the courtroom immediately. Alara stopped, but didn't retreat. Her steady stare rippled across the hall, silencing the audience. She said nothing, but her silence carried the weight of defiance. Murmurs rose, and even the judge glanced over his spectacles, waiting. The bailiff's pride flared. Desperate to reassert control, he grabbed her arm. Gasps filled the courtroom. Before anything more could unfold, the court phone rang. The judge frowned, answered, then quickly switched to speaker. A commanding voice filled the room. That woman must remain. Direct order from the citadel. Silence crashed over the chamber. The bailiff recoiled, his hand dropping. All eyes turned to Alara. She stood motionless, as if expecting this intervention. The judge gave a subtle nod, granting her passage. Alara sat beside Orion, her presence shifting the atmosphere entirely. Questions burned in every mind. Who was she, and why had the citadel intervened? By morning, the city was ablaze with rumors. Some called her a covert agent. Others claimed she was a politician's daughter. Conspiracy theories flooded social media. No one could uncover the truth. In reality, Alara lived quietly. To neighbors, she was a consultant for a nonprofit. Yet beneath the surface lay her hidden past. She had served in a covert unit abroad, preventing disasters that never made headlines. In classified files, she was marked with a single phrase, codename, Sentinel, that explained her return. Orion wasn't just an accused man. He was her comrade, a soldier who once saved her life. Now he was being crushed by fabricated charges orchestrated by powerful figures desperate to silence him. Alara would not abandon him. The bailiff, still stung by humiliation, couldn't let it go. His curiosity drove him to search databases, call contacts, dig through archives. But he found almost nothing. It was as though she existed and didn't exist at once. Then, one night, he stumbled upon a classified fragment in a military database. Alara's name. Beside it, top secret. His hands trembled. The rumors were true. But why had such a figure appeared in a small courtroom? Meanwhile, Alara met with Orion's lawyers. She revealed evidence of a larger conspiracy, politicians and businessmen tied to an international cartel. The attorneys were stunned by the names she cited, their expressions hardening as they realized the depth of corruption. But speaking these truths came at a cost. Anonymous callers whispered threats. Vehicles tailed her through city streets. Still, Alara remained composed. Fear had long been burned out of her. In its place was resilience. The bailiff's obsession deepened. Duty clashed with conscience. His superiors ordered him to stop digging, to forget her entirely. But something inside him rebelled. For the first time in his career, he felt compelled to defy orders. He couldn't shake the conviction that Alara was the key, not only to Orion's freedom, but to exposing the hidden power structures poisoning the city. The trial became more than a legal proceeding. It was a battlefield of shadows. Orion sat in the defendant's chair, no longer alone. With Alara at his side, prosecutors faltered, their confidence shaken. The judge himself looked uneasy, as though sensing forces beyond his courtroom walls. Then Alara revealed her opening move. Documents proving the charges against Orion were fabricated. She read aloud names, men with influence, wealth, and power. The prosecutors turned pale. The judge stiffened, realizing the trial had spiraled beyond his jurisdiction. Retaliation was immediate. Media outlets, sympathetic to the accused elites, launched a smear campaign. They painted Alara as a fraud, her past riddled with lies and failures. Yet she stood firm, unshaken by the noise. Those who had fought beside her knew such attacks could not dent the steel of her will. But the noose was tightening. Pressure mounted from every direction. Anonymous figures in black suits loitered outside her building. The bailiff, now fully drawn into her orbit, watched from the shadows, torn between fear and resolve. His conscience whispered that silence would make him complicit. He understood now. Alara's fight was not just about one man's trial. It was about dismantling a network of power that thrived on fear and silence. And whether he liked it or not, he was already part of it. The city held its breath. The next day promised revelations or ruin. Alara and the officer forged a secret alliance. He shared police archives while she uncovered documents through her military ties. Together, they exposed that the veteran's trial was only a mask for a deeper scandal. Arms trafficking and treason woven into the city's highest ranks. One night, as Alara drove home, a black SUV cut her off. Two men tried to drag her inside, but years of service had sharpened her reflexes. She fought them off, shaken but aware. The danger was no longer symbolic. This was war. Inside the courtroom, the battle raged just as fiercely. Prosecutors moved to silence her testimony, but Alara held her ground. Then she revealed her weapon, classified files proving judges and politicians had taken money from foreign powers. The courtroom exploded. Journalists scribbled furiously. The judge turned pale, and whispers filled the gallery. Alara stood steady. Knowing she had crossed a line from which there was no return, the officer in the back no longer saw her as a nuisance, but as a soldier of truth. Yet he knew the cost of her defiance would be immense. The final session drew a packed audience. Alara rose to speak, her voice carrying like steel. She laid bare the conspiracy. Millions funneled into shell companies, contracts rigged, treason protected. One by one, she named names, each a thunderclap against corruption's wall. The judge tried to stop her, but the people rallied with applause, transforming the courtroom into a stage for truth. Outside, crowds gathered, chanting for justice. For once, police did not break them apart. Even the officer who once opposed Alara and now stood guard by her side, risking his career for honor. When the verdict came, the veteran acquitted. The hall erupted in joy. Tears, embraces, and applause filled the chamber. For the veteran, it was not just freedom, but the restoration of dignity. He embraced Alara, knowing she had gambled everything for him, but the victory was short-lived. A man in a sharp suit approached, flashing a military ID. "Your mission here is complete, Sentinel," he said quietly. "The Citadel needs you again." That night, Alara stepped into the empty streets. Her enemies would hunt her, yet the truth had been spoken, and the people had listened. Gazing at the stars, she whispered, "If the truth calls, I am ready." Her fight, she knew, was only beginning.